Hey guys, so today I'm filming a chit chat get ready with me. I know I haven't done one of these videos in forever, so I'm really happy to be filming this today, and I'm even more excited because I'm going to be using all of my ColourPop products in this video. So I will be using my ColourPop bronzer, blush, highlighter, eyeshadows, lippy pencils, and lippy sticks. So I'm really excited about that. I love the way that all of the colors go together, and I want to be able to demo my ColourPop products for you guys, and especially share with you my favorite brushes that I use for everything, because I know that the ColourPop product texture can be kind of difficult to work with when trying to figure out how to apply it with a brush. So hopefully when you see what I use and how it works for me, you might get some ideas of what brushes might work for you with your ColourPop products. So just jumping right into it, first I am going to be priming my face with my NYX Angel Veil Primer. I don't have too much of this left, which is exciting, so I can move on to something else. I did recently purchase the MakeUpForEver Matte Primer, which I'm excited to try. So for foundation, I'll be using the MakeUpForEver Matte Velvet Plus in the shade number 20, and my Hard Candy Glamoflague foundation in the shade Porcelain. So this foundation is almost a perfect match for me, but it does have a beige undertone, and for some reason when I apply it on my face, it shows up a little bit orangey, but when I mix in the Hard Candy, it levels out pretty good. So I went ahead and mixed that on the back of my hand, and now I am just going to dot it all over my face. And I do like this MakeUpForEver foundation. It is not my absolute favorite. It does give a medium coverage if I use a flat top brush, and then it is buildable, but I don't notice it does anything like super crazy to control my oil, but I have never found a miracle worker for my oily skin. So I do like this, but I probably won't repurchase it. I do like my Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo foundation better. That just gives much more coverage, and it performs the same in terms of oil control. So now I'm going to blend that all out with my RC Cosmetics angled flat top kabuki brush. I was using my beauty blender with this foundation, but I found that it sheared out the coverage a little bit too much for my liking, so I went back to using my RC Cosmetics brush, which is my current favorite for foundation. So now my foundation is all on and I'm looking ghostly as usual, so I'm going to apply my under eye concealer. Right now I'm using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in the Brightener shade, which is the pink undertone. This is my favorite product ever for highlighting, because I'm just highlighting down the center of my face, on my cupid's bow, my forehead, nose, chin, brow, and under my eyes, and the upside down triangle shape that we have all come to know and love. And then I'm going to be blending that out with my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge, which is my favorite product ever for concealer. I think it blends out everything so nicely. So now I'm going to set my under eyes using the Wet n Wild Fergie Mattifying Take on the Day powder and my e.l.f. small tapered brush. This is my favorite product to use to set my under eyes. It does a really great job of setting everything without requiring too much powder, because I do definitely have to set my under eyes because I am oily all over my face, even under my eyes, so I need that concealer to stay in place without creasing. So now I'm going to set the rest of my face with my NYX Set It, Don't Fret It Matte Finishing Powder in number 1 Light Medium and my e.l.f. powder brush. I have gone back to using a loose powder to set my face, and I really am enjoying it so far. I definitely do need powder on my skin, but I don't want to cake it on, especially because it is about to be really hot, and it is in the summer weather here. It is 90 degrees today and I am sweating like crazy. So I love this powder because it helps set everything in place, and it also fills in any lines. This is an awesome powder, but it does not give a ton of coverage or make your makeup look cakey. It just sets it in place. So now moving on to my ColourPop cheek products. First, I have my 2 bronzers. I'm going to be using both of these today. First, I'm going to go in with Paradise Cove, which is the Satin shade, and I'm going to use this to bronze the outer perimeters of my face in the E3 shape, and I'm going to be using my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I think the Real Techniques Sculpting Brush would work even better, but I don't own that one, so I'm just using the Expert Face Brush for now. I'm still trying to decide whether I want to buy the sculpting brush or not. So this is a beautiful bronze color with some subtle golden shimmer in it. It doesn't show up too much on my face, so I'm just going to pat this into the product and then press it into my skin, starting at my cheekbone. And I'm holding the brush sideways and then I'm holding it straight up and down like this to help blend it out more. And the bronzers are the same formula as the blush, which I really, really like. So now going up around my hairline and my temple, and I'm just pressing this into my skin right now. I found that is what works best. I've only used these bronzers a couple times, so I'm still trying to figure out which way I like to apply them best, but this is what I've been doing recently and quite enjoying it. So let me know how you apply these bronzers if you have them. I'm so excited that ColourPop decided to add bronzers to their line. I think that was such a smart decision. And they do have 6 shades. I think they have 3 satins and 3 mattes, and they do have a very fair shade and a very deep shade so that people of all skin tones can find a bronzer for them, which I really love that ColourPop did that. I do think that they could add more shades, you know, more mattes and more satin finishes. So now I'm going to contour my face using the ColourPop bronzer in Skinny Dip, which is the matte shade, and my Real Techniques contour brush. So just swirling this in there, picking up some product, and applying this just in the hollows of my cheeks and blending it back and forth. And then I'm going to wipe off the brush a little bit and try to blend it out. That is the difficulty I've had most. I've been able to apply it, but not as easily blend it, which usually isn't a problem for blush because I really like intense blush, but I don't need my contour to be that intense. So now just applying some on the other side, of course, because we need to be even, girls and boys, okay? All right. So then into the hollows we go. And these are the second and third lightest shade in the range as well. And they work very, very well for my skin tone. I probably could have picked up the lightest shade as well. But I decided to go with these because I wasn't sure what the pigmentation would actually be. And you know, sometimes when you see pictures of products online and then you see them in person, they're like totally different colors. So now moving on to blush. This is my newest shade, and this is Prenup, which is a satin finish. This is a beautiful rosy plum shade that I think will go beautifully with the lip color and the eyeshadows. And I apply all of my ColourPop blushes with my Real Techniques buffing brush, and just picking up the product here and tapping this onto my cheek. So I have tried other brushes, I've tried my fingers, but I do not like anything as much as I love this brush for applying my blush. And it is a pretty nice size and is nice and round, which is good for blush. So I do like this. It might be a little big for some people, but I find that it is a nice size for me. And I did try the e.l.f. small stipple brush, and it does work, but it applies the colors more sheerly than the Real Techniques does. So if you want a really light wash, use the e.l.f. small stipple, but if you want really pigmented color, use the Real Techniques buffing brush. Oh boy, we are loving the blush today, girls. Okay. So lastly, for the face, we do have a highlighter, and the highlighters are a different formula from the blush and the bronzer. They are thinner and they have a slicker feel to them. They feel like a silicone primer. So because of that, I've kind of had a harder time figuring out how to apply them. First, I was using my Real Techniques setting brush, which I use for powder highlighters, and it was working okay, but what I found that I liked best was using the e.l.f. small stipple brush to really pick up the product and dab it onto my cheekbone. And the shade I have is Smokin Whistles, which is a pinky champagne, and I'm just going to pick up some of the product onto my brush and just dab it onto the top of my cheekbone. I hope you guys can see that, and it is looking mighty intense. So now onto the eyes. As you can see, I already have done my brows because they do take so long. I use the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Taupe. I use the Lorac Take a Brow Kit in the shade Blonde. I use the lightest powder in that kit, and then I set my brows in place with the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara in the shade Blonde. So now just getting into the eye look, I'm going to start off with my primer, which is the Milani eyeshadow primer. This is my absolute favorite primer. I like this way better than any high-end primer that I've used. So definitely pick this up if you guys haven't. And this will last you an eternity because you need the slightest amount. So I'm applying that from lash line to brow bone. So first I'm going to go in with my lid shade. This is Amaze, which is a metallic finish, and this is a beautiful rose gold. I either apply this with my fingers or I use a sponge tip applicator if I want to be a little bit more precise, but today I'm just going to use my fingers. I have purchased my sponge tip applicators from the Ulta brand, so anyway, just picking up a little bit of this on my finger and pressing it right onto my lid. And I am taking this color right up to the crease. And as you saw, that lid shade just glided right onto my lid. It was super easy to apply with my fingers. And now for the crease, I'm going to be using Bill, which is a matte shade, and this is a rosy taupe. And I'm going to be applying it with my RC Cosmetics round top brush. I have tried a couple different brushes, and this is my absolute favorite for applying ColourPop shadows in the crease. I even have my Sigma P82, which is the same type of brush, but the Sigma is actually a little bit too dense to apply and blend the product. So the RC Cosmetics works even better than the Sigma brush, and it is a fraction of the price. So definitely recommend you guys pick this up. I think that you can buy like an entire set of 5 of these in different shapes and cuts for the same price as like one of these brushes from Sigma. So definitely a good deal. So anyway, I'm just going to pick up Bill on my brush and apply it into my crease. So I'm starting at the outer edge of my eye and working inward with small circular motions. And as you can see, that just applied so easily and pretty darn evenly too, which is really impressive. The formula of the shimmery and metallic shades is just more pigmented and blendable than the matte shades. The mattes aren't super patchy, but they are a little bit harder to work with until I found this brush, and then it totally changed the game for the ColourPop matte shadows. And for my brow bone highlight, I'm going to be using the shade Onai, which came out in the MakeUpForEver, and this is just the only light creamy shade I have from ColourPop, so that is why I'm using it. So I'm sorry to show you something that is only available in a quad, but the quad is still available and it is a great one. So I'm just going to be applying this shade with my finger right under my brow bone to give that nice lifted appearance and just finish off the eye look. So here are the shadows all done. I'm going to apply the shadows on my other eye, my eyeliner and mascara, and be back to show you what's going on my lips. So here are the finished eyes. For liner, I use my Maybelline Line Stiletto Liquid Liner, and for mascara, I use my Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. So now moving on to the lip combo, first starting with the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Bound, which is a dupe for Max Whirl. Mine is a little bit messy looking. So I'm going to share with you what I use to sharpen these, because the ColourPop Lippy Pencil packaging is made out of a plastic, but it is a sharpenable plastic, which really terrified me at first. I was really afraid of jacking it up, but I found a sharpener that works perfectly with these, and that would be the Jordana pencil sharpener, which probably cost $1 or $2, very inexpensive, and I have devoted this to solely use with my lip pencils, and it sharpens these perfectly. It is a perfect sharpen, not jagged or uneven. And I would definitely recommend you pick up this Jordana sharpener if you have any of the ColourPop lip liners. So now I'm just going to apply it, just outline my lips. And I don't use lip liner very often, but I really love it in this combo. And then I'm going to shade in the outer corners a little bit to give like a subtle ombre appearance. And then I'm going to add a little bit more lip liner right at the bottom of my lower lip and the top of my upper lip, just shading it a little bit. And I know I basically just covered my entire lips with lip liner except for the very center. And I'm going to be using my ColourPop Lippy Stick in the shade Westy, which came out in their spring collection. And this does have a matte finish. It is a light dusty pink, which I think pairs perfectly with this lip liner. So now I'm just going to apply it to my lips. And as you can see, that lip combo creates a beautiful wearable mauve pink lip, which I love with my mauve pink cheeks and the rose gold shadow. I think the whole look just really comes together. I really hope you guys enjoy this Chit Chat Get Ready With Me and being able to see how I apply all of my ColourPop products. So please leave a comment down below letting me know your all-time favorite ColourPop products so I can see if there's anything else I need to add to my current and ever-growing collection. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.